my name is Michelle Hillyard and I'm a spoken word poet currently residing in from Mississauga. I cannot remember a time where I was not writing. Ever since I was a child, I do have my first book at home that I've written when I was 6 in kindergarten, and I've written ever since. So the very first time I ever remember performing was actually for my class in grade 1, and I did a Dennis Lee poem that I had memorized, and then I performed for the entire school. That's the very first time, but I didn't start doing spoken word performances until a couple years ago, and the first time I ever did perform spoken word was into a large group was on the Noel Ryan Auditorium stage for the Mississauga Writers Group Festival that they put on. I draw my inspiration definitely from my own life, but especially recently for my kids. So not only do I like to write poetry that addresses issues that they face, and I would like to also educate people about the problems and the issues that they may be facing as well. I sometimes think that I'm talking to them when I'm writing my poems, so I want to make sure that what they need to hear is being spoken about. So the very first spoken word poem I ever did, it's called Look at Me, and it does talk about autism. My kids are autistic, and it addresses the fact that we need to be more accepting, and it brings up the topic of neurodiversity, which is not just seeing autism as something that has to be corrected and dealt with, but also the ability to accept people with diverging abilities. I get this question all the time about what my creative process is, and to be honest, it really varies based on what I'm inspired to write about. As for rituals, because I do spoken word, I do a lot of repetition. So I know a lot of people like to read from the stage. I prefer to memorize, or I'll write stuff in my head. And I do have poems I've never written down because they're just performances to me. So for a ritual, it does involve a lot of repetition and memorization. The Mississauga art scene has definitely launched my writing in my career. So about a couple years ago, I was a writer sitting at home and not actually getting out and meeting anyone. So the very first thing I did was Google Mississauga and writers, and I came across the Mississauga Writers Group. They're the first group of people that I actually went out and met and connected with as a writer here locally. At the time we were at the library. And it was there that I actually read my very first piece of poetry to the group, and also in the random acts of poetry that was being run at the library at the time. So if it wasn't for them and their feedback and their belief in my poetry, I would not have had the confidence to take a stage, and now I've done so internationally, so it was definitely my first step. So it's because I do performance poetry, and I do so in a very competitive way in the poetry slams. I think it's quite easy to kind of pick up on one of those times maybe I would have won, or you know, going and representing in other cities, and that is something that I'm proud of. But the times that I am actually most proud of when it comes to the poetry is when I talk to someone afterwards and they say, thank you for saying what you're saying, thank you for bringing that message out, because that is actually what is really important to me, in that I am bringing a voice to a stage for people who may not have the words to voice how they're feeling, to voice what they're going through, and to be able, and I believe that, you know, that's really art is all about, is that making that connection and making the healing that can come through that. So that is what I'm personally most proud about, is being able to do that for other people as much as I find other people do that for me as well. Also, I think that what I'm really personally proud of is just the fact that I was able to get up on the stage and start doing this. And other people say that they're inspired by the fact of being able to do that, and I just want to be able to inspire others to be able to express themselves, to be able to express their art, and yeah, that's pretty much it. So I'm currently a member of the Burlington 2008 Poetry Slam team for the Burlington Poetry Slam Project, and we just recently came back from Chicago where we represented Burlington. And we'll be representing Burlington again in October at the Canadian Festival of Spoken Word. So we're a team. There were 4 of us on the team. I'm one of 4, and we do pieces either on our own or as a team together. So what I'll be working on next will be on those pieces, preparing for the next competition. Never give up. I am older. I didn't start doing art again. I got lost in life for a while, being a mother, being full-time, working full-time. And I picked up art and writing, specifically poetry, shortly after, maybe when I was 36. And so for the last year, it's been a complete whirlwind. It's never too late. It's never too late to start to do what you believe in and start to do your own art. And it's also never give up. Believe in yourself. The practice of doing art is often, you have to battle most of all self-doubt and having that courage to take that step and share what you're created with the world. And so my best piece of advice is just to keep on doing it. Even if you stumble, just pick yourself up, keep going, you'll get there. Thank you so much, Mississauga Arts Council, for having me out and for all the promoting of arts you do for the city of Mississauga. If you want to catch up with me, you can go on to The Great Right North, that's WRIT, thegreatrightnorth.com. You can also catch Mississauga Writers Group every second Saturday